right, folks, welcome back to Zero Dark Nerdy. We are joined with actor and director Don Stephenson, who is going to be playing, or it's going to be joining us next week as Back to the Future comes to Tanger Center here in Greensboro, May 6th through the 11th, playing Doc Brown. Don, how are you doing today?
Great Scott, Brian. I'm here with you, and I can't wait to get to Greensboro. I don't know if it's going to be last week that I was there or this coming week, or it could be next year. Who knows with my DeLorean time machine? You never know where you're going to end.
Love the energy, Don. I love it. So, just to get into it, a little bit of background for our listeners out there. You have been a director as well as a stage actor for quite some time. Many hits. You were in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, Parade, Dracula, just to name a few. You've directed at theaters all over the world, Lincoln Center, Kennedy Center. I think it's Goodspeed Opera House. So the list goes on and on and on. How did, the Doc Brown character kind of come to you? Was it something that you sought out? Was it the team from Back to the Future that went to you? Like, how did that process begin?
I knew I had done the producers, the first national tour of the producers, Mel Brooks, the producers, and then I had done the show on Broadway. And one of the producers of Back to the Future was a producer on the show, The Producers. And so I ran into him in the lobby of another theater at a show that I was working on, and we were talking. He was like, "Oh, I'm doing Back to the Future," and we were chit-chatting, and he all of a sudden just said, "You should play Doc Brown." And I was like, "All right, well, and it just seemed like idle chit-chat and nothing serious. And I was like, "Sure, give me a call whenever you need me." And lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, calls started. And then here I am, and it all sort of came from that, I guess.
Nice. Obviously, there's a big difference out there when you're at one place, say Broadway, and then you're on a tour like this. Can you kind of walk us through, and this is a question that I get a lot from our listeners, especially because Tanger is fairly new to Greensboro. We really didn't have anything to the level that we have at Tanger Center here locally. Raleigh, Charlotte, of course. So, a lot of people have been enjoying it. It's been a great addition to this town, especially seeing these wonderful plays like Back to the Future coming next week. But, what's it like being what's a typical day like for you?
So Doc is a very demanding part, as you can imagine.
Sure.
And so most of my day is spent getting ready for the show. I have to get up and I have to stretch and I have to work my voice and I have to work my legs and all of those things so I can do the show. And as far as Greensboro and all the different cities seeing the show, I mean, we do the Broadway version of the show. So what the audience see in Greensboro is going to be the Broadway version of Back to the Future. We rehearsed in New York. It's a New York-based cast, and you're going to get to see all of the bells and whistles that Back to the Future brings. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. If you DeLorean go 88 miles per hour on the stage, then come see Back to the Future because it will blow your mind. The artistry that everybody has brought to it is stunning. I think the audiences are in for a real treat. If you know the movie, you're going to love the musical. But if you've never seen the movie before, you're still going to love it because I'm amazed. People come and dads are dressed as Doc Brown and they bring the 10-year-old son who's dressed as Marty. And they talk to me after the show. And I always say, "Oh, are you a Back to the Future fan?" to the kid,
Yeah.
And the kid will say, "I've never seen the movie." And I'm always, "What?" So that always seems backwards to me. And they're like, "I saw it tonight for the first time."
Wow.
So, an older person like me, I expect they've seen the movie. And I'm sure that's why the dad has brought them.
Nice. That's amazing. And yeah, you would think with the new generation too, that this would play well. And I have a 23-year-old daughter now, but I would think that I was not doing good as a parent if I've never shown her Back to the Future before. So it's just one of those things to where with kids too, obviously a different time as well. I still remember going to the movies to see it with my parents. And that's, a good kind of segue here to my next question is, what's your first memory of when Back to the Future came out? Because it was, it was everywhere and came out of nowhere and was just such a hit.
I remember going to, when I was in school, going to see it in the movie theater, like you said, and I had such a crush on Leah Thompson that I could barely stand it. And luckily, I got to meet her when we were in LA, when we opened in LA. She came to see the show. So there she was right before me, my boyhood crush. And she didn't disappoint at all. She's still Leah Thompson and a ravishing beauty.
Oh, gosh, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry, I forgot to put my phone on mute. So, with that being said, where does this rank up there for you as far as favorite characters that you've played? I mean, you've played a lot, very, very diverse portfolio and background, but, filling in the shoes for someone like Christopher Lloyd and then, playing Doc Brown, where does this rank up for you as far as favorite performances?
Well, it's absolutely one of my favorites. When do you get to do an iconic part like this? Everybody knows Christopher Lloyd, and Christopher Lloyd is one of the great actors, and it's an iconic performance. So my advice to you and anybody out there listening or watching is if somebody asks you to play Doc Brown, you say yes. You say yes because you want to be Brown. It's so much fun. He's an amazing character. And, the thing about Doc is, and the thing that I always got from watching Christopher Lloyd was, he seemed innocent.
So, Don, what exactly, just to kind of backtrack a little bit, when was it for you where you were like, this is something that I want to do? I want to be on stage, I want to act. And then even for the directing part as well, I'd love to hear a little bit of just your background and what kind of inspired you to chase this incredible dream.
Well, I did this. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I always sort of was one of those people who knew what they wanted to do and was lucky enough to get to do it. And when I was in college, I started to direct for the first time just because I got tired of learning lines and doing so much acting. I had a little bit of a burnout and I was like, well, I don't really know how to do anything else. And directing is sort of adjacent. So I'll direct a show. And then I found that I liked that as well and had a knack for it. And so my entire career, I've been lucky enough to sort of toggle back and forth between the two. And people always say, well, which do you want to be doing more,
Sure.
And like everybody else, I'm completely a malcontent. When I'm acting, I wish I was directing. When I'm directing, I wish I was acting. So I don't know. I need help. Help.
A double-edged sword there. For sure. Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, let me ask you, do you have a particular like routine or regimen after you wrap up with the tour? Many cities, many hotels, lots of shows, sometimes you're doing 2 shows a day. After you wrap up a tour, how do you kind of just like digress and just get some you time in? Or do you even have time to get some you time in?
I'm not going to get a lot of off time and I'm prepping that show now during the day in all of my different hotel rooms to get it ready for when I do get home. So that's fun. And but I am hoping to get a little bit of R&R and rest my voice and rest my body and recharge.
Perfect. And, last but definitely not least, being a pop culture podcast, we're always very interested on what people are either listening to music wise or watching on TV. And I mean, I know you're on the road incredibly busy, but is there any, whether if it's music, books, shows, anything where you just have some downtime and, you just pop something on and then you're just able to relax for a little bit?
Well, like everybody else, when I'm home, I want to watch The Last of Us. I like to watch The Last of Us on Max. Do you like Last of Us?
Oh, I absolutely love it. That's dad and daughter time right there. So yeah, it's great.
So my daughters also like it, and my sons, and so we watch that, and then we all talk about it. And I have to say, I'm saving the last few episodes of Cobra Kai. So my whole family, we can watch it all together because I'm a huge Karate Kid fan. I've loved Cobra Kai, and we've all watched it together. And we're saving those last few episodes so when we're all back together, we can finish it out together.
Oh, love it. Love it. Yeah. I can see you have a pop culture family, and my family's a pop culture family as well. We love our movie nights, our TV shows. So I know you got to run here in a minute, Don. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Zero Dark Nerdy. Again, thank you so much for listening. Be sure to give us a like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all across social media. And of course, be sure to check out our website, popculturepodcast.com. A big thank you to our incredible sponsors, Sailfish Comics, with 3 locations in North Carolina, 1 in Concord, 1 in Winston-Salem, and 1 right here in Greensboro, North Carolina, right across from Best Buy. Nerd Bombers over at Brassfield, and of course, Golden Ticket Cinemas for all of your cinematic adventures. Let's not forget our boy Scotty, the Body Springer, for all of your DJ and entertainment needs, for weddings, corporate events, and so much more. For more info, as well as free quotes, be sure to check them out at topropeentertainment.com. And let's not forget the Believe Podcast Network. On behalf of everyone at Zero Dark Nerdy, this is your boy El Nino, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Yeah! Victory!
And anger management?
Fuck anger management.